Picture this. The Egyptian army, their chariots and horsemen, swallowed by the churning sea. A miraculous pathway forged through the impossible, leading you to freedom. You're standing on the other side, breathless, victorious, heart pounding with awe. You made it. You're free. The impossible has happened. And then, silence. The adrenaline fades, the euphoria subsides. The crowd, once jubilant, grows quiet. And ahead of you, stretching as far as the eye can see, is nothing but a vast empty desert. It's the emotional cliff. The sudden drop from the exhilaration of triumph to the stark reality of the journey ahead. It's the moment when the miracle is over and the real work begins. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever had a Red Sea moment, a miraculous breakthrough, only to find yourself in the wilderness? That disorienting space between God's powerful deliverance and His next clear promise. It can feel like a cosmic baton switch, a sign that you've somehow taken a wrong turn. Today, we're talking about what to do when the miracle is over. We're talking about how to navigate the wilderness, find purpose in the pain, and prepare yourself for the promised land that awaits you. This isn't just a Bible story. We'll show how it relates directly to you. What's been your biggest Red Sea moment, and what did you do after the miracle was over? Share your experience in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can share those raw, real emotions and find strength together. It feels like a mistake, doesn't it? Like God's GPS glitched and sent you on a detour. We just had the Red Sea moment. Shouldn't the next stop be the Promised Land, a place of abundance and effortless success? But look at Exodus 15, the chapter right after the triumphant crossing. What does God do? He leads them into the desert of Shur, a harsh, unforgiving landscape. For 3 long days they wandered, searching for water, their spirits beginning to flag. The wilderness wasn't a detour, a mistake, or a sign of God's displeasure. It was the designated route, the divinely ordained preparation for the journey ahead. We have to understand this fundamental principle. God parts the sea to get us out of Egypt, to deliver us from bondage. But He uses the wilderness to get Egypt out of us, to transform our hearts, refine our character, and prepare us for the promised land. The Red Sea is a moment of divine intervention. The wilderness is a process of internal transformation. The slave mentality, the fear of the unknown, the comfort of the status quo, all has to be unlearned and replaced with a new identity rooted in faith, hope, and unwavering trust in God. The desert is where our faith is refined. Our character is tested, and our relationship with God is deepened. The wilderness is not a punishment, but a preparation. It's a harsh environment, but it's also a sacred space where God can speak to us, teach us, and transform us. It's where we learn to depend on His provision and trust in His guidance. What Egypt is God trying to get out of you right now? What limiting belief or negative habit is He challenging you to release? Share your honest reflection in the comments. You are not alone. So, if the wilderness is an intentional part of God's plan, what do we do in this in between time? How do we navigate the uncertainties and maintain our faith? The Bible shows us three vital practices the Israelites used right after the Red Sea. First, remember faithfully. After their deliverance, Moses and the Israelites didn't just move on, they sang a song, a powerful declaration of praise and gratitude. In the desert, where hope is fragile, your memory is your most potent weapon. Don't just remember the miracle vaguely. Write it down, share it, speak it out loud. Remind yourself, God, I remember how you made a way when I had none. This builds trust for the future. Second, complain differently. Just days after their celebration, the Israelites arrived at Merah to find bitter, undrinkable water. And what did they do? They complained. We do it too. We encounter bitter experiences and question God's plan. But notice what Moses did. He didn't dismiss their feelings. He cried out to the Lord, taking their complaints to the only one who could provide a solution. Shift your complaint from grumbling about God to a prayer to God. Turn your complaints into a conversation, a vulnerable and honest expression of your heart. Third, gather daily. As the Israelites journeyed, God provided manna, just enough for each day. He didn't give them a year's supply. He taught them to rely on His provision one day at a time. His grace, peace, strength, and guidance are given daily, fresh each morning. Don't stockpile worry for next week or fear for next year. Trust for today. As Matthew 6:34 says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Which of these three practices, remembering faithfully, complaining differently, or gathering daily, do you need to focus on most right now? Share your answer in the comments. The wilderness is never God's final destination. It's a corridor to a promise, a training ground for your destiny. The desert is where God gave them the law at Sinai. It's where the tabernacle was built. It's where He guided them by cloud and fire. Your after the Red Sea season is not a holding pattern. It's a transformative journey where God is building in you the resilience you need to inherit the promise. God wants a faithful people, not faithful slaves. He has delivered you from captivity. Now is the time to make use of freedom. A slave mentality cannot inherit a promise. Your journey through the wilderness is about becoming the person God has called you to be, ready to impact the world for His glory. What destination are you striving for during your time in the wilderness? Comment below with your personal promise. So, if you're in that desert place right now, feeling the quiet after the miracle, remember this. Your story doesn't end here. The most important journey often begins after the Red Sea. As Philippians 1-6 says, being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Remember the wisdom of the prophets and use the tools available. A difficult situation is no longer a burden, but an opportunity to grow. To help you, we created something that provides advice on what you need, not just what you want. We VA put together a free PDF called the Wilderness Survival Guide, 5 daily prompts from the Exodus. It will help you put these 3 practices into action. The link is in the description below. And if you're ready to go deeper and understand how God not only makes a way, but builds a life, then subscribe to Bible Time Adventures. We explore these timeless stories every week to connect them to your everyday life. Tap subscribe and join us.